space for the guy carrying the ball.
And how about the call here? They need 2 yards in their own territory on 4th down. And here we go on 4th down with Griff.
Lining in his locker room. Because I think the team's going to look at him like, Coach, why would we go for it there? You don't like the punter? I mean, what's going on here? You owe us some explanations.
In 12 regular season games this last year for Bell, averaging over 150 yards from scrimmage. First 2 games in the playoffs were great, but, getting injured in the final game probably leaves a bad taste in his mouth.
Leaves a bad taste. Gives him fuel for the next season, though, because remember, for the last few years, he hasn't been able to play a season for various reasons. Now, going into next year, imagine those numbers over a 16-game. Especially if the running back has skills like a receiver, and you're aware of that before the game even begins. So throughout your practice sessions, you're going to want to be aware of him. Where is he lining up? What can he do? What kind of damage can he do to us downfield? And who can match up with him without weakening our overall defense? You're exactly right. It's a tough task to match up to him.
2nd down now after the incompletion.
Set. Play 56. Play 56.
Roethlisberger with a give to Bell. And they get to him quickly here as he stopped right around the 13. He only got a couple on that one, so not a ton of help. They'll have a 3rd and 8 forthcoming. So 2nd down was a run play. Now let's see what they do on 3rd.
Well, so many times we look at a short run and we praise the offense for trying to set the tempo and establish things, but the defensive guys, hey, they just won the battle there. It wasn't a big run given up. They don't always have to absorb the body blows. Sometimes they dish them out themselves.
Maybe just a lack of concentration there as he couldn't haul it in.
And when you're going across the middle like that, he's running that drag route, you are conscious of all the bodies and the traffic in there. But let's face it, if you're going there, you might as well come down with the football and absorb whatever else happens after that.
And Boswell's kick road, never a bad thing.
No question about it, Brandon. You had a crowd that was all fired up during pregame introductions, yet you're able to quiet them just a little bit by taking the early lead.
And a good effort on the return there gets them across the 30 to the 33-yard line. The Steelers defense getting ready here for this next possession. And it's early, but boy, they looked good on the last drive. Getting that 4th down stop, they'll be looking to build off that momentum.
They went into lockdown mode, didn't And what I loved about it is when someone goes for it on 4th down on their own side of the field.
Gutsy.
Not only gutsy, defenses take that as a sign of disrespect. And when they're able to shut them down and put it back in their face, they feel really good about trotting back out for the next series.
We'll see if they still feel good here. Now they'll run it on the toss. And he went backwards. He'll be down at the 30. It goes as a loss of 6. And now 3rd down.
There's so many times during camp and practice that you get bored as a player doing regular drills. But how about that shed and skate drill right there by the linebacker? You do it each and every day. Get the blocker away and get into the backfield and make a big-time tackle. That's what we just saw.
And all the way in. Touchdown, Cleveland. Duke Johnson, 69 yards. Have 10. And they'll get set here looking for the two-point conversion. Now they'll run it on the toss. And he's going to be hit and taken down in the backfield. Just nowhere to run that time. And the try for two is snuffed out.
You know, sometimes the guy on the defensive side of the ball, he just has a good feeling or a good read, and he unleashed his defense on that one. Boy, they stopped him in a big way.
Yeah, I hate to be cliche, but sometimes we overanalyze. They just have more want. Looked like they had more want right there.
More want and more people to the ball.
And they're going to start this drive in pretty good shape as they get it up past the 30.
Double tight. We got three, fellas. We got three. Set. Black 30. 56 to Mike.
They'll start out on the ground with Bell. And nowhere to run on the interior of that defensive line. He'll get back only to the line of scrimmage. Clock rolling as we hit the midway point of this first quarter. They'll go again with Bell. And this may be a carbon copy as he'll again be stopped right at the line of scrimmage. It's the Pro Bowler Jamie Collins that makes the stop. And this defense looks for one more stop here on third after the run.
Hey, guys, check me out. We got 3 down.
On third down, Roethlisberger. And that is incomplete. Antonio Brown, the intended receiver. And that brings up fourth down. On fourth down, here comes the Steeler punter Jordan Berry to kick it away. This will be fielded at the 17. So possession goes over here on the punt. And the Browns will take over with a 1st and 10 deep in their own territory. And as the Cleveland Browns come back out onto the field, they'll get going again on offense here in a second. But 1-15 this last year. And it's a franchise that since moving back to Cleveland in '99 has only been to the playoffs one time. Now the ball comes loose. And it looks like Steeler football. It is.
The psychology of the game never ceases to amaze me because you would think there would never be a fumble from what we hear from coaches all the time, right?
And how much they practice not fumbling.
Practice it, preach it, talk about it all the time. You would think no one would ever turn it over. Yet they are humans out there running around, and we just saw another one.
Opportunistic by the defense. And Pittsburgh getting set to take the field. And they're coming off a 3-and-out, my friend.
I think they've got to look at that play sheet and go to a spot that they haven't gone before. Time to shake things up a little bit to try and get this offense moving.
Okay, so how do you do that? How do you shake things up?
You look at what you've called before, realize it hasn't worked
so well. Go to something else.
And maybe you try and find one of those special plays from one of your better players, and maybe try and hit something big and get things going in the excitement area.
And the hard count got the defense there, encroachment, and the 5-yard penalty. Offense in a good spot here, 2nd and 2.
Tight ends left. You got 3 down. Here we go. Black 30. Mike's 56.
After the penalty, it's Bell. And they're going to lose some on this play. Being knocked back to the 18. So he loses 3 yards there. Now 3rd down. They had great starting position to begin the drive, but now they look up at a 3rd and 5. From the gun on 3rd down, it's Roethlisberger. He gets it to Brown, complete. A nice pickup of 14, and it moves the stick, sets up a 1st and goal. And connection number 1 there on the game, Roethlisberger to Boney Tony. Antonio Brown, that's what his high school teammates used to call him.
I wonder what they would call him now.
More muscular, more successful Boney Tony Brown, right?
I'd say you're probably right. They may be all of that. I still call him Boney Tony, but Ben Roethlisberger calls him my number 1 target.
And he's in. Touchdown, Steelers. Le'Veon Bell from 4 yards out. And the Steelers are going to retake the lead. Getting your back involved, what's the importance there in the passing game?
Well, oftentimes you can create mismatches because who's going to cover him? And you get him into space, which is where he likes to operate with the ball in his hands. Oftentimes makes people miss, gets that run after the catch, and off he goes.
And into the end zone. The return man is Mario Alford. And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get it up to the 29-yard line. And now Cleveland geared up to take the field. And last time, not only the turnover, but that turned into 6 points. They got to make up for that here.
We always hear about empty possessions, but some are worse than others. You can have an empty possession, punt the ball away, get yourself set to play defense, but when you turn it over, it changes momentum, and when they take it downfield and punch it in on you, that's a bad possession all the way around.
Yeah, but you're hungry to get back out there, aren't you?
You better be, because otherwise, it's going to be a long day for you.
Let's see what the offense comes with here, 2nd and 8.
In today's NFL, you hear all the time about stretching the field and creating space in order to run plays. A toss play will help accomplish that because now you're pushing a defense to chase you all the way to the edges and to the sideline. That's a nice run, probing now early to try and get things done later. I can say this from experience, especially from a defensive back's perspective. There's not many things more terrifying than a toss sweep or a pitch play and all that beef out in front of the runner.
Yeah, I had an old coach say 3 words on those plays, toss or pitch. Set the edge. Heard him over and over.
A lot of times they roll the edge, and when they do that, that's why you can go for a long way.
They'll run out of the gun. And he'll lose yardage here. Back at the 47. It's a loss of 5 like a block. Now they'll on the toss. Room here to run on Cleveland. A great effort there. 46 yards. And the Browns have retaken the lead. And on that long run, maybe the defense caught napping a little bit.
The concentration level may not have been there. I agree with you on that one because those types of plays, when they result like that, they're almost like big bolts of lightning, aren't they? Whoosh, and off he goes.
And they will line up a 2-point try.